I've been using Klein Funding for the past 30 days, and in this video I'm going to tell you my honest review. More specifically, first I'm gonna give you an overview of this prop firm. Then I'm gonna show you all the challenges that they offer and the rules that you need to follow. After that, I'm going to log in my account to give you a tour of the backend and of their trading platform. And finally, I'm gonna tell you what in my opinion are all the pros and cons about this prop firm. Also, if at any point during this video you would like to try Klein Funding, you can do so by clicking the first link in the video description. And once you get at the checkout page, if you use the coupon code STKTRD, like you see right now, you're going to receive a 20% discount on all the standard challenges. While if you use the coupon code STK, you're going to receive a 15% discount on all the instant funding challenges. So, if you're serious about trying Klein Funding, I suggest you follow these steps. And now, let's start with the video. So, I'm currently on the home page of Klein Funding, and we can immediately notice a few of the main features of this prop firm, like for example that they give you access to deep liquidity, that they offer customizable evaluation, that they give you access to on-demand rewards, and that their maximum reward split is up to 100%. Additionally, as you can see, Klein Funding has also accumulated more than 150 reviews with an average score of 4.8 on Trustpilot, which of course is a sign of a reliable and trustworthy prop firm. Now, if we go back on the homepage of Klein Funding, we can also see that this prop firm has paid out more than $3.2 million. They currently have more than 13,000 active traders. They allow traders from all over the world. In fact, as you can see, they accept people from more than 130 countries, as they've been established in 2024. Lastly, Klein Funding offers 24/7 support. They allow you to trade around 700 different assets, and they offer competitive spreads and high leverage. In fact, later on, once I log in inside my Bybit trading account that I have with them, you're gonna be able to see that they have spread starting from 0.0 pips, and they allow you to have a maximum leverage of up to 1 to 100. So, now that I give you a brief overview of Klein Funding, let me show you what are all the challenges that they offer and the rules that you need to follow. When it comes to challenges, currently Klein Funding offer a one-step challenge, a two-step challenge, a three-step challenge, a Prime Plus challenge that is coming soon, and an Instant Pro challenge. And as you might notice from this table, one of the main advantages of this prop firm is that the challenges are customizable. In fact, as you can see, when it comes to the reward split, I can adjust it to get from 40% till 100%, and of course the higher the reward split, the higher is also going to be the price that I'm going to pay for the challenge. And also when it comes to the maximum drawdown, I can change it going from a minimum of 6% till a maximum of 14%. And of course, as I increase my maximum drawdown, also my profit target, in this case for phase 1, is going to increase accordingly. Now, when it comes to one-step challenges, they go from $6,000 till $200,000. The only platform where this challenge is available is Bybit. As I told you before, the reward split goes from 40% till 100%. The drawdown type is static. The maximum drawdown goes from 6% till 14%. The daily drawdown is always half the maximum drawdown. In fact, as you can see, as I change my maximum drawdown, the daily drawdown is always gonna be half of this value. The reward is always on demand, no matter the reward split that I select. And as I told you before, the target is always gonna be the same as the maximum drawdown. When it comes to minimum trading days, they are set at 0. The maximum trading leverage is 1 to 100. You have a stability of 30%, and don't worry, later on when I show you all the rules that you need to follow, I'm going to explain exactly what stability means, and there is no scaling plan. Now, moving on to the two-step challenge. As you can see, in this case, this challenge goes from $5,000 till $200,000. You can only trade on Bybit. The reward split also in this case goes from a minimum of 40% till a maximum of 100%. The drawdown type is static. The maximum drawdown also in this case goes from 6% till a maximum of 14%, and based on the maximum drawdown, the daily drawdown and also the target for phase 1 and phase 2 2 are going to vary. In fact, as you can see, the daily drawdown is always half of the maximum drawdown, while when it comes to the target is always the same as the maximum drawdown, while the target for phase 2 instead is going to vary based on the maximum drawdown. And also in this case, the reward type is always on demand, no matter what is the reward split percentage that you select. For this specific challenge, there is a 0 minimum trading days, the maximum trading leverage is 1 to 100, there is a stability of 45%, and also in this case there is no scaling plan. Next, we have the 3-step challenge. This is also the cheapest plan that you can pick and also the most beginner friendly. This specific challenge goes from $6,000 till $200,000. Also in this case, the only platform where this challenge is available is Bybit. The reward split goes from a minimum of 40% to a maximum of 100%. The drawdown type is always static. The maximum drawdown goes from a minimum of 6% to a maximum of 14%, and also in this case, based on the drawdown percentage that you're going to select, your daily drawdown and also the target for the various phases are going to vary. As you can see, the daily drawdown is always half of the maximum drawdown. The reward split is always on demand, and as I was telling you, let's say for example that you decide to pick a 14% maximum drawdown. In this case, the target for phase 1 is going to be 14%, the target for phase 2 7%, and the target for phase 3 7%. And again, based on your drawdown percentage, as you can see, the targets are going to vary. For this specific challenge, there are no minimum trading days, the maximum trading leverage is 1 to 100, the stability score is 45%, and also in this case there is no scaling plan. Last, we have the Instant Pro challenge. This is basically an instant funding challenge, so this means that if you select this specific challenge, you're gonna skip the challenge phase and you're gonna get immediately to the funded stage. So when it comes to the Instant Pro, the sizes goes from $1,250 till $50,000. Also in this case, the only platform where this challenge is available is Bybit. When it comes to the reward split, it goes from a minimum of 70% to a maximum of 90%. You can select 2 different types of drawdowns. In fact, you have the smart drawdown and the trailing drawdown. And don't worry, because later on when I show you all the rules, I'm going to explain you exactly what is the difference. The maximum drawdown is set from a minimum of 6% till a maximum of 8%, and as you can see, if you select the 6% maximum drawdown, you can only pick the smart drawdown type, while if you select the maximum drawdown of 8%, you can only pick the trailing drawdown type. So based on your maximum drawdown percentage, you're gonna be able to pick either one or the other drawdown type. And when it comes to the daily drawdown, as you can see, is always set at 3%. For this specific challenge, you need to trade for a minimum of 3 days. The maximum trading leverage is 1 to 100. There is no stability score, and this specific challenge has a scaling plan that allows you to get funded of up to $2 million. So now that I show you exactly what type of challenges Klein Funding offer, let me show you what are the rules that you need to be aware of. So first, let's talk about the stability score. And when it comes to these rules, it basically said that no single trading day's profit can be equal or greater to that specific percentage. So let me give you an example. Let's say that you generate $10,000 in profit and your stability score is 45%. This basically means that you cannot have a single day where you generate more than 45% of your total profit. So this means that you cannot have a single day where you generate more than $5,500. In case this happens, you don't breach the challenge, but you simply need to keep trading until you don't have a single day that exceeds that specific percentage of your overall profits. Just to give you an idea, the stability score is exactly the same as the consistency rules. The only thing that changed is the name. In fact, most prop firms usually call this specific rule a consistency score, while when it comes to Klein Funding, they decided to call it stability score, but at the core they are basically the same. Next, let's talk about overnight position and weekend holding. The good news is that with Klein Funding, both of these things are allowed. In fact, you are allowed to hold a position overnight and to also hold a position over the weekend and to trade during the weekend, since the crypto market is open 24/7, 365 days of the year. When it comes to payouts, Klein Funding offer on-demand payouts for all their challenges. So this basically means that you can request a payout whenever you want. You just need to respect your stability score. Unfortunately, copy trading is strictly prohibited even between accounts that you own. Next, let's talk about the smart drawdown and the trailing drawdown that, as I showed you before, only apply to the instant funding challenges. So when it comes to the smart drawdown, as you can read here, the smart drawdown moves upward as your equity increases. However, once your account reaches plus 3% profit, the drawdown locks at minus 3% of the original starting balance and it stays there permanently, regardless of future profits, withdrawals or resets. So this basically means that if you pick the smart drawdown, this drawdown is going to trail you until a certain point, and then once you reach plus 3% profit, it's going to lock there and it's gonna basically become a static drawdown. Instead, when it comes to the trailing drawdown, as you can read here, this specific drawdown is fixed at 8% of your starting balance and it moves or trails your higher watermark based on your balance or equity, whichever highest. And so, as you can see, the main difference is that when it comes to the trailing drawdown, it never locks. In fact, it keeps trailing you no matter how many profit you generate. So, based on your trading style and based on your experience, one drawdown may be better than the other. Lastly, let's talk about the prohibited trading strategies. Personally, while going through this list, I haven't found nothing strange or groundbreaking. In fact, most prop firms share the same exact rules. In fact, practices like, for example, latency trading, arbitrage trading, high frequency trading, hedging between accounts, tick scalping, or group trading are usually prohibited from all the other prop firms. One thing that, in my opinion, was interesting is the fact that you are not allowed to hold trades for less than 50 seconds. So this basically means that if you are a manual high-frequency scalper, unfortunately, Klein Funding is probably not the right prop firm for you. But beside that, as I was telling you, all the rules that you will find here are pretty standard and nothing new. So, now that I show you all the challenges that Klein Funding offer and the rules that you need to follow, let me log in inside my account to give you a tour of the backend. So, I'm currently inside my Klein Funding account, and as soon as you log in, you're gonna be redirected inside this dashboard where you have an overview of your active accounts. So, as you can see, currently I have a standard account of a size of $50,000. This is the latest account that I've purchased, and so I still haven't placed a single trade, but of course, as I start trading, my balance, my equity and my history P&L are of course going to update. And if I start scrolling down, I can also have a few more information related to this specific account, like for example that my maximum drawdown is 6%, the daily drawdown is 3%, the payout share is 70%, I can see what is my stability score, maximum leverage and also the profit target. And if I go at the bottom of the page, I can also have a list of all the position that I've taken. But as I told you before, this is my latest account and so I still have to place a single trade. Now, if we move here on the left side, as you can see, I have the menu that will allow me to navigate inside the back end of Klein Funding. So I'm currently inside the dashboard. If I click on accounts, I'm gonna have the opportunity to see all the accounts that I have with Klein Fundings. If I click on orders, I'm gonna see all the orders that I've done, so basically all the challenges that I've purchased. If I click on withdrawals, I'm gonna have the opportunity to see how much money are available for withdrawals and also to request the withdrawals. Instead, if I click on leaderboards, I'm gonna have access to the leaderboards of all the best traders inside Klein Funding. So for example, in this case, the number one is Isabella Rossi. She has a total profit of $18,449. I can see what is her win rate, what is her payout share, and so on. And as you can see, if I keep scrolling down, I have access to the list of all the best traders. Now, below the leaderboard section, I have the inventory section. Currently, this section of the backend is empty, but I think that later on there is gonna be various items that are gonna be able to use. Below the inventory section, there is a section related to points. So these basically are points that I receive if I complete a specific action. Like for example, if I decide to follow Klein Funding on Twitter, I'm gonna receive 100 points. If I decide to leave a review, I'm gonna receive 100 more points, and so on. Lastly, we have a section related to news. Personally, I really like this part of the backend simply because usually a lot of other prop firms, when it comes to news, they just give you access to an economic calendar with all the upcoming news event. What I like about this specific section is that instead of having access to the economic calendar, which is something that you can also access externally going on multiple websites, here I basically have access to a news feed with all the most important news events that are happening inside the crypto space. And I find this really useful because usually this specific type of event are going to influence more the crypto market compared to the other type of news that you find on the economic calendar. They usually tend to affect more the forex market. So again, since this prop firm is focused only on cryptocurrencies, I like that also their news feed is focused on this specific asset. So now that I give you a full overview of the backend of Klein Funding, let me log in inside my trading account that I have with them. This is my Bybit account that I have with Klein Funding, and in case you are not familiar with this specific trading platform, now I'm going to give you a brief overview. So starting here on the left corner, as you can see, I have the option to select which asset I want to trade. In this case, I'm currently looking at Bitcoin, but let's say for example that I want to trade Solana, I just need to click on it, and as you can see, the chart has changed and now is representing Solana. I can also change what is the time frame that I'm looking at. Currently this is the 1 hour time frame, so this means that every candle represents 1 hour, but if for example I click on 4 hour, now every single candle represents 4 hours. And one thing that I really like about Bybit is that they use the trading view charts. In fact, as you can see here, there is the trading view symbol, and I like it because these charts are really smooth, are really user friendly, and are really easy to learn and to use, especially if you are a beginner. In fact, here on the left side, as you can see, I have access to all the various drawing tools that I can use to do my technical analysis. Like for example, I can draw trending line, or for example, I can also use horizontal line. So in this case, let's say that I want to mark a support or a resistance. As you can see, I can easily do it. I also have the opportunity to simulate a long position or a short position, and if I scroll down and I click on this bin, as you can see, all the drawings are gonna be deleted. Now if we move here on the right side, I have access to the order book for this specific asset, and I also have access to a few more information, like for example what is the current price, what is the 24-hour change, what was the 24-hour height and the 24-hour low, what was the 24-hour turnover. So basically I have access to all the information that I need to make an informed trading decision. And lastly, if you move at the complete right side of the dashboard, I have access to the trading menu. Here I can decide, for example, what type of margin I want to use. So for example, I can use isolated margin or also cross margin, and then I can select what leverage I want to use. And as I told you before, Bybit give you access to a maximum leverage of 100x. Then I can also select what type of position I want to open. So for example, if I want to open a limit position, a market position, or if I want to open a conditional position. Then I have the opportunity to select what is the amount that I want to trade with. I can select to use a take profit and a stop loss. And finally, I can also decide if I want to use a long position or a short position. And if I move here at the very bottom of the dashboard, I have access to a recap of all the position that I took. So for example, I can see the open order, the position, the order history, the trade history, assets, borrowing, and so on. So as you have seen, the Bybit trading dashboard is really user friendly and easy to understand, and I think that even if you are a complete beginner, if you start using it, it won't take you a lot of time before you understand exactly how every single thing works. So now that I show you everything that you need to know about Klein Funding, let me tell you what in my opinion are all the pros and cons about this prop firm. So when it comes to pros, I will say that the first one is the fact that Klein Funding give you access to personalized challenges. In fact, you're gonna have the opportunity to decide what is your profit split, what is your maximum drawdown, and based on that also your profit target and your daily drawdown are going to vary. And in my opinion, this is a huge pro because it basically allows you to personalize the challenge exactly based on what are your needs and also on what is your budget, because based on the settings that you're going to select, also the price of the challenge is going to change accordingly. The second pro of Klein Funding is the fact that they give you access to multiple challenges. In fact, as we have seen, currently Klein Funding offer a 1-step, a 2-step, a 3-step, and also an instant funding challenge. And in my opinion, this is a huge pro because it means that no matter what type of trader you are, no matter what is your level or experience, you're always gonna find a challenge that is perfect for you. And if you combine this with the fact that you can also personalize the challenge, this gives you the opportunity to basically create a challenge that is tailor-made to your specific needs. The third pro of this pro firm is the fact that they offer a 100% profit split, and this of course is a huge pro because it means that if you select these specific settings, you're gonna receive 100% of all the profits that you generate, and of course this is amazing, and this is something that a really small amount of pro firms offer. The fourth and last pro of this pro firm is the fact that they offer on-demand payout. In fact, as I show you while going through all the various rules, you have the opportunity to request a payout anytime you want. The only condition is that you respect the stability score. Now let's talk about the cons of Klein Funding. Personally, the only cons that I found while using this prop firm is the fact that scalping is not allowed, or better said, high frequency scalping. In fact, you are not allowed to hold trades for less than 50 seconds. And so if you are somebody that usually hold trades for less than this amount of time, unfortunately Klein Funding is not the prop firm for you. While on the contrary, if you are somebody that, for example, have an average holding time of more than 1 minute, in this specific case, you're gonna be able to use this prop firm without any problem. So, there you have it. This was my review of Klein Funding. As I told at the beginning, if you also would like to try them, you can do so by clicking the first link in the video description. And once you get at the checkout page, if you use the coupon code STKTRD, like you see right now on the screen, you are always going to receive a 20% discount on all the standard challenges. While if you use the coupon code STK, you are always going to receive a 15% discount on all the instant funding challenges. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, and until next time, happy trades!